Hi everyone, this is module number 70 for the subject of strategic human resource management. In this module, we will see some criticism on the contingency approach. As I said that there are different perspectives and people see things differently. Where there are proponents of best practice approach, you have seen that there is a criticism on the best practice approach. Similarly, on the other hand, there are some proponents for the contingency approach, which means it depends, and at the same time, there is a criticism on the contingency approach. We will see some more dominant or the critics what they have said more frequently about the issues in the contingency approach. There is a little empirical evidence to support the idea that matching HR practices to business strategy leads to better results. So this is the first criticism. What does it mean? हम कहते हैं कि HR strategy should be aligned with the business strategy. HR practices should be aligned with the business practices. However, there is a lack of empirical evidence that some HR practices or linking HR practices with the business strategy will result in better performance. Not clear which contextual aspects may be most important and relevant for HRM in terms of creating a fit. As I said before that the contingency perspective is also known as the best fit approach. You have a fit between the practices and the organizational context or factors. So the question is, which contextual aspects are more important? For example, it is the culture of the organization, it is the strategy of the organization, it is the stage of the organization, at what stage the organization is, it is the strategy, for example, you are a prospector or defender. Which one is more important? It's not very clear and it is hard to find out. The third one is, let's say, matching HR and business strategies implies that all organizations have an articulated strategy. This is an assumption कि सारी कंपनियों के पास कोई ना कोई बिजनेस स्ट्रेटजी होती है कि सारी कंपनियां जो हैं दिस इज एन assumption that they have a strategy. So they have a strategy, so there should be a HR strategy which should match with the business strategy. In reality, you may have observed or you may agree that every organization may not have a strategy. You can conduct a survey and you can ask 10 companies or 20 companies in an industry and you ask, what is your business strategy? You might be surprised that most of them may say that they don't have any strategy. And Jack Welch, he said that if you don't have a strategy, you may end up somewhere where you don't want to be. Anyway, we will focus on the criticism, and this is more in enlightening our vision about these two schools of thoughts. So, a disconnect between intended HR strategy and implemented HR strategy. So, simply, there is a criticism that organizations plan a strategy, that is their intended strategy. कि हम ये करना चाहते हैं. When they are implementing, they are not implementing exactly what they have planned. Because of the different circumstances, organizations keep on changing their strategy, or there might be some factors that are influencing the implementation level. The organization is exactly not implementing, or in practice, it is not going on in the organization. What is the strategy or what they had planned? So, what would be your HR strategy? Your HR strategy would be something for what you have planned, or your HR strategy would be something what is being implemented or what is being practiced in the organization. Is it not that difficult to identify that you are having a planned strategy or you are having a strategy which is being practiced? And another one is organizations are complex and comprise different employee groups. So in some cases, you may have a different strategy for different types of employees. The employees who are the core employees of an organization, the employees who are just simply clerical or administrative employees of your organization. So the organizations have different levels of employees, different caliber of employees. So your HR strategy or HR practices should suit to whom or should be developed keeping in which type of employees. You may be having a different HR strategies for different set of employees. And finally, contingencies do not determine the specific approach to HRM. Managers make decisions. Therefore, issues about decision making and bounded rationality and politics come into play. In simple words, who makes the decisions? Most of the time, these are the managers of the organization. Those managers may have their personal interest. They may not be making the best decision for the organization because their personal interests are ahead than the organizational interest. So, in that case, when managers are making decisions, they might be thinking about organizations as a secondary thing. Similarly, let's say this is not the case, and managers are unbiased and they are willing to make the best decision. But do managers really know everything in the organization? Do managers have the complete information about their competitors, about their employees, about their organizations? Definitely, it is not possible for one person or someone to have a complete information about something. This is the concept of bounded rationality. We always have a limited information about anything. So managers have to make a decision based on that limited information, and that will challenge which HR practices to or which HR strategy to implement when you don't have a complete information about the organization and employees and the market and competitors and customers and so on. Thank you.